How are you doing? Hi, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing amazing. I've missed you. Y'all know. Yeah, y'all know. You all know that when I don't get on here, I miss you guys, but it's mostly because maybe I'm held up or I can't go live, but I love being on here, talking to you guys, with you guys, chatting with you, in the chat section and whatnot. So, today I want us to talk about flights, airlines, security checks, and things like that. Yeah, we're gonna learn from each other. I just bumped, let me say that, bumped into this show. It's called, actually, the channel is A and E. I don't know what A and E means, to be honest. Yeah, but mostly it's like it's on this channel they post videos just capturing what happens in the airport and stuff like that, and it's quite interesting. So I will speak based off of what I've seen here and also from my own experience traveling. Yeah, and we can compare notes. So just to let you guys know, the show I think was done like in the 90s and maybe early 2000s, because you can just see the hairstyles, the fonts that were being used at that time and stuff like that. Hi, MD Official, how are you? Uh, how are you doing? You're welcome, guys. Thanks for the likes. Keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Yes, so a very nice top line. Thank you. So actually, when you're traveling, through the airports, it doesn't matter which airports, be it domestic or international, you need to be very cool, calm, and collected. Cool, calm, and collected. I would advise that you don't get highly inebriated or intoxicated. If you can, just don't drink, okay? I would advise you not to drink and just be very cool and calm. I know it's easier said than done, but if you want to make it on that flight, it would help a whole lot if you're calm, if you're cool, if you're just minding your business. Don't interfere in other people's businesses. But if you see something that you feel maybe is threatening or stuff like that, of course you say something. They say, see something, say something, right? Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right. So anyway, yeah, so the agents at the gates, yeah, they have every right and every power to deny you okay, let me scratch that. They have every, one second. They have every power to stop you from boarding the plane. Yeah, and the captain is the captain. That's the pilot in charge. Yeah, that's the guy who has all the say. So the agents, at the gates, the captain, the pilots. If he says that you're not flying, you are not flying. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you do. If he says you're not flying, you're not flying. Hi, Jason. Hi, Penelope. Hi, guys. You're most welcome here. And don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, so if he says you're not boarding, you're not boarding. There are also like security agents, like all over the airports. Do not be fooled. There are security agents all over the place, just looking to make sure that the airport is safe and that everyone is safe. And yeah, and I think that is something that we should all really applaud. Yeah. Hi, Penelope. Hi, Billy. Yeah. So if you're flying, so I know most of you probably know this because you fly, but it's good to just remind ourselves, yeah, make sure that you comply with the rules. Yeah, when you're going through security, different airports have different rules. In some check security checkpoints, you need to remove your shoes, and you need to remove what is it called? You need to remove your shoes. You need to remove any uh item that has like like for the belts. Yeah, I know you need to remove the belts. I always pass through with my Pandora bracelet, so this is not a problem. And my rings, normally I get through with them, but for the watches you have to remove the watch. Yeah, earrings also I do get, yeah, I do get through with the earrings. Yeah. And then what else? Yeah, so if you're traveling um by flights, you might want to put on shoes that are easy to like remove and put on, so that you don't spend a lot of time, trying to like untie your shoelaces or to remove your shoes and then put them back on. I did that mistake when I was flying to Las Vegas. While I was going, I had on my boots, but I had totally forgotten that I might have to remove my shoes. Yeah. So please, when you're traveling by flight, make sure you have like just Skechers. I think they have those easy slip-on shoes. Yeah. And there's a pair that I have that's very comfortable. I think Ag Collection also has those, especially if it's winter and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm feeling good, Billy. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much like those are the things that maybe you need to like remind yourself of or look out for. Yeah. So when you're traveling, travel like be comfortable. Do not drink. Yeah, I know there are people who love their liquor. My advice is that if you're drinking, just don't drink. They do serve alcohol in some flights, not all flights. There are those short flights where you're in the air like maybe for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like, yeah. But then for the longer flights, they do serve alcohol. Some you have to buy. And I think flights which are like maybe 5 hours plus, I'm talking of international flights. I don't know about domestic flights. Yeah, they do serve alcohol as part of a meal. So that is like, I want to say complimentary. It comes with a meal package. But then you could always buy, you know. Yeah, so you cannot bring your own alcohol to drink. You can buy alcohol at duty free, yeah, and take it with you, but you are not allowed to drink the alcohol on board. Yeah, the only alcohol you can drink on board is the one that is served to you by the cabin crew. Some of you call them stewards and stewardesses or air hostesses. Yeah, whichever works for you. And yeah, so that is that. I'm trying to think if like I've missed something. Yeah, for, like personally, I do not drink while I'm flying. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I feel like, yeah, because one, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't advise people to do so, but there are people who do so. And yeah, if you can hold your liquor, why not? Because once you become a nuisance, that's it. Yeah. And even if you drink, at some airports, I think they do have bars. I'm not speaking about all airports. I'm just speaking of, um, why am I losing my train of thought? Yeah. I'm not saying that this applies to all airports. Yeah. Maybe that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. There are airports that do serve alcohol, but I think most of them do. The bars. Yeah. They do have like places where you can go and eat and drink alcohol and stuff like that. But you might not want to drink a lot of alcohol because if you're intoxicated, you will be denied access to board the flight. And there is nothing you can do that will help them, that will make them change their mind. You might have to wait for like 8 hours plus without drinking any more alcohol so that you can sober up. And you can imagine what an inconvenience that would be. That means one, depending on what time your flight is, you're probably gonna miss your flight, or you're gonna have to wait for another flight, which might really mess up your schedule if you think about it. Yeah, so to be on the safe side, drink responsibly. Do not overdrink. If you want to reach your destination safe and sound and on time. All right. So, what else? Yeah, if you are exposing yourself indecently, it's called indecent exposure. If the airline staff feel like you are not dressed properly, yes. I know there's some people who think that they can just dress anyhow and board the flight. No, maybe if it's your private jet. I don't know about the private jet life. Never been on one, so I wouldn't say that I know anything to do with that. But you need to dress appropriately. Just dress decently, I guess. And what was I gonna say? Oh, there was something that was put out by Spirit, I think weeks, I don't know how many weeks ago, where they had like all these rules on how to dress and things like that. Because I was meant to understand that on Spirit Airlines operates in the US. I don't know if they operate out of the US. I think I read somewhere that there was a Spirit airline flying to Haiti. So I do think they operate primarily, sorry, in the US and other countries as well. I'm not sure which countries those are, but I do remember reading about Spirit flight to Haiti. All right. Yeah, or Haiti. I don't know how you pronounce that properly. Yeah, so they were sort of tightening their rules somewhat. But to me, I was like, isn't that normal? Like, you can't go on the plane barefoot. I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, who flies barefoot? And you have to like cover yourself properly. Just be decent. This is not to say that you cannot express yourself through style and stuff like that, but the goal is to get to your destination. Yeah. So yeah, just to avoid a lot of inconveniences, I think do not like expose yourself indecently out there. Be mindful of others, very mindful, very demure. Yeah. So watching this show, oh my gosh, it's so interesting. Super, super interesting. I've seen different scenarios. Um Oh, so the one that blew my mind that I didn't know about. Hey, thank you, Danny. How are you today? Thank you. Yeah, so the one that blew my mind was I did not know that, hi Pooja, I did not know that airlines overbook the flights intentionally. Did any of you guys know that? I was like, wait, what? Wait a minute. Yeah, they actually do that. They overbook the flights intentionally. I've worked in hospitality and I don't remember hotels overbooking intentionally. Of course, there are seasons where overbooking would occur, busy seasons where maybe, but that would occur maybe just because certain things were not done in time, but it's never intentional. It's never like, okay, we are going to overbook. Yeah, but in instances that have happened in hotels that I know of, when there's overbooking, the hotel will try as much as possible to accommodate the guests, but when they cannot, because you just can't create rooms out of thin air, what they do try to do is maybe put you up in a different hotel, and then depending on how many nights you've booked, they can take you back in when there's an opening. Yeah, it's never a pretty situation. You're dealing at that time with guests who are very upset, and rightly so, because when you book room nights in a hotel. This is how I used to think way, way before I started working in hospitality. I used to think like, oh my gosh, when I book a room, all those people are just waiting for me. They know that I'm coming and they're doing everything to make sure that I'm comfortable. Not saying that they don't. Hotels definitely do. But the way I pictured it was just like in a very how could I say it? Yeah, I just felt like that they really personalize it, to extent that I know that hotels cannot do in as much as they would love to do it. But it doesn't mean that it's not done. It's definitely done. I worked in guest experience for quite some time. And I used to love, 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 love it when the guests have a great, great stay and experience. Yeah, that would make me so happy. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So, I was talking about the airlines overbooking intentionally. And I was like, oh my goodness, that explains a lot of things. I had no idea. That's why you maybe hear of people who are on standby. And I used to wonder, like, how are they on standby? Yeah, so they overbook it intentionally in hopes that there will be no shows. So no shows are people who do not show up. This could be in hotels and now in airlines as well. Maybe you've booked your flight, but because of one reason or the other, you don't show up. So if airlines have overbooked, they're able to put other people, they're able to like accommodate other people. Yeah. And that also explains why what was I gonna say? Yeah, that also explains why some airlines can also accommodate people who missed their flights. They can just have them on a different flight without charging them extra and whatnot. Yeah. And the reason that was given when I was watching this particular show, the reason that was given was, oh my gosh, tongue twister. That if airlines do not do that, it would cost the customers a lot of money to buy the tickets. Yeah. So in a way, it helps the customers and it helps the airlines as well. But when you've missed your flight, you don't want to know about anything like that. So people get upset, especially in instances where the airlines have overbooked and you can't go somewhere or you cannot travel because maybe there's no space. Yeah. So that just got me thinking, like, if you really have somewhere to be and you're flying, please, please, if you can, just try and plan ahead and be there like a day earlier. Because, huh, yeah. I know you got my undivided attention, was getting ready to sleep. Oh, Danny, thank you. But don't stay up so late. Thanks so much for the support, though. And I'm posting videos, Danny, Pooja, Billy, and everyone else. So please, please watch my videos. I would really like it. Like, I appreciate you guys watching my lives. That's amazing. But I would love it if you watch my videos as well. Yeah. Watch them, share them. If you're going to work or doing something, just play it in the background. While you listen, I'm trying to give you guys good content. So please, I've uploaded one video today. Yeah. So please, please go on my page, watch that video, share. Yeah. And comments. I'll be happy to go back and forth with you in the comment section. Appreciating you guys. So yeah, please support me in that way. I politely, kindly asking you guys to please support me by watching my videos and sharing my videos. Yeah, I really need those views to come up. Come up, okay? Plus, I'm working hard and smart to bring you amazing content. So I'll only be able to improve when you guys watch and give me feedback. All right? Okay. Hey, Delano. Della. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Yeah. So that is what happens. So if you're really planning to be somewhere at a particular time, my advice would be like, please plan ahead of time, because having a confirmed ticket is not uh, a guarantee that you're gonna be on that flight and get to your destination. Yeah. It could be one, the flight is overbooked. Two, if there's any form of misconduct, or and they, you know, oops, excuse me, if there's any form of misconduct on your part, or maybe the party that you're traveling with, sometimes you might not be the troublemaker, but you're with someone and then the person acts in a certain kind of way, then both of you will not be able to fly, and that's just an inconvenience. And also another thing that I've learned is that you need to, when you're traveling, you need to have extra money just in case, for emergencies. The money you keep for a rainy day. Yeah, when you're traveling, I know sometimes it's easy to say, because not everyone, can afford to just have money lying around, like, oh, if things go wrong, I'll spend. But it's good to also just even have a backup plan, because let's say something happens and you miss your flight, and then after you miss your flight, then you're not able to travel to your destination. You might have to stay in that city. And the airlines, from what I've watched and the stories that I've heard, they are not keen on like putting you up at a hotel. They normally do not do that. That would just be a last resort, maybe if you really pressurize them, or if you find someone who's really nice, or if they can do it. But mostly they will ask you to go spend a night at a hotel at your own cost. The best, maybe sometimes, the best thing they can do for you is maybe say that, oh, we can get hotels that would give you like a distressed person or distressed guest rate. So my thinking is that airlines have partnered with hotels to get good rates for their customers, for instances like these, like maybe if the flight is missed or overbooked or stuff like that. Then we have weather elements. You cannot control Mother Nature. Mother Nature cannot be controlled, never, ever, 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 ever. So that is also something else. Yeah, you cannot control Mother Nature. So you could be on time, planning to fly somewhere, but because maybe the weather is so crazy that the flights cannot take off, then you might be stranded somewhere for some time. Yeah, so all these things that I've talked about, we really need to put all of this into consideration. Of course, we always look at the best case scenario where you get to the airport on time, go through security check on time, and board your flight, and boom, you're gone. Sometimes it could be due to technical difficulties with the aircraft. You've done your part, everything is cool, you bought the aircraft, but the aircraft cannot take off because there's some technical issue, then maybe that would also lead to delays. So there are just so many things that could happen. Many, many things. What else have I forgotten? I wanted to talk about something else as well. Yeah, but the one that really blew my mind was the part that airlines overbook intentionally. I was like, wow. That's why my tickets, I always prefer, not only with airlines, with anything, I always prefer to deal directly with the company, like directly with the airline. Sometimes when you go to book something, it could be a ticket for a flight or for a movie or something else. When you go to book, you might be redirected to a different page without you realizing, and then you might end up booking with an agent or a third party. Oops, excuse me. And then those ones are always just so messy, because sometimes if you need to like make changes or anything like that, if you booked with a third party, then you'll incur extra costs. Sometimes you can't even get those people on phone. Yeah, so sometimes it's just good to be keen and pay attention when you're doing things like that. Yep. And there's always security at the airports, there's always police at the airport. So best believe, if you misbehave, mm, you can go to jail. You can go to jail directly. Okay, so just be on your best behavior. I know sometimes it's difficult for some people to behave, or maybe sometimes people just go through a lot of stress. Like people go through stuff, maybe someone has lost maybe there are people who've lost their jobs, or there are people who've lost their loved one, or others are going through separation or divorce, or a loss of a friendship. Like so many things, so many things. People are going through so many things and different. It's life is just lifing. Okay, how about that? And so sometimes it takes just a little bit, like just something this small to trigger someone. Yeah. And having worked in customer service, you might just want to listen to the airline staff or the customer service staff. Like, just number one, treat people with respect. But two, I do understand also, like if you're very very upset, uh, you know then you're talking to someone and you just feel like you're talking to a wall, in the sense that the person just keeps repeating the same thing over and over again, and you can tell that you're not going anywhere with that conversation. Instead of escalating it and being upset and stuff like that, I would just recommend, for you to just step away, go cool off, and start looking for alternatives, because it doesn't matter how much you scream at those people. It doesn't matter what you say. You could threaten to sue, to call the manager, you could ask for the supervisor, you could do all these things. But at the end of the day, mostly what happens is whatever that person, the first person told you, that is pretty much what will fly, unless maybe the manager or the supervisor or maybe someone else in charge maybe can do something that this person could not do. But most times it's just policy issues that no one can really do anything much about it. Yeah, if you've worked in companies, there are just some policies which are just like, oh yeah, like you don't have a lot of wiggle room with that. Yeah. So hi Laura, how are you? It's been a minute. How are you doing? Yep. So this show, the channel is A&E on YouTube. It's very interesting. Yeah. So if you have time, you could watch it. Yeah, it's very informative. Yeah, but if you're a good citizens, like I know you are, you don't really have to worry much. But sometimes, there are people who don't know, so you might end up missing your flight, or just putting yourself in a very, very difficult position or situation, just because you didn't know. And yeah, so it's good to learn together. Yes. And even when you're talking to someone, if you're really upset, all these things are easier said than done. I know. Trust me, I know. As human beings, sometimes emotions take over and you cannot control. And sometimes you find people who are passive aggressive, who are just like poking you, and then, you know, they like do something and hide their hands, and or maybe they gaslight you, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Yeah. And we also have to give the people working in customer service some grace, because imagine dealing with thousands or hundreds of people, and sometimes you have to say the same thing over and over and over while still going through your stuff. I know they say that when you go to work, you should leave all your sugar honey iced tea at the door when you come to work, but we're human beings. Come on, we're not machines. Yeah. So there are some things that sometimes as humans will like affect how we conduct ourselves, but all in all, uh when we treat each other with respect, when if one person is high, the other person has to calm down. And just know that at the airports, anyone that works there has authority, and they can be the deciding factor, like whether you're gonna make your flight or not. Yeah. So just be on your best behavior. Oh, one thing I wanted to say before I go, I almost forgot. So, I've watched also another show. I can't remember the name of the channel or the name of the show, where you just get to see what happens in terms of like airport security with immigration officers and stuff like that. And sometimes you see people who are like just selected, okay, for extra security checks. And I used to wonder, like, how does that happen? How do they choose someone, like, just being curious and whatnot. So yo, I don't know why I keep saying yo. It happened to me, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. So what happens, your boarding pass, when you get your boarding pass, if you want to know that you're selected for extra security checks, you get a lot of S's on that boarding pass, okay? So when I used to take tickets from customers at the theater that used to be annoying at times. Oh, Danny. Oh no. So they missed the theater. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, customer service people, the people who serve you your food, you really want to be super nice to these people. I'll talk about food and beverage, F&B, in in a different forum. But let me tell you, you just want to be nice to everyone, period. Because you never know, if because you at the end of the day, you're dealing with human beings. I know there are rules and stuff like that, but you never really know what's going on through someone's mind. And also, people are human beings at the end of the day. So if you push this person, and imagine you're serving someone and the person is cussing at you, calling you out of your name and stuff like that. What are they expecting? You might get nice people who will just be nice to you regardless of how you treat them, even if you treat them poorly. But then you might get someone who will match your energy, okay? So it will be like game on. So what are you gonna do after? Because that person there is not going anywhere. That person is not going. Is not being inconvenienced the way you would be, or the way you will be. So let us just be nice people. Let's be kind people, like I always say. Be a kind human being. It does not cost a thing. Okay, back to what I was saying. So yeah, when you have the tickets, so sorry, the boarding pass. Sorry, I saw Danny's message, ticket, and I'm thinking ticket. So when you have the boarding pass at the airport, if you want to know that you've been selected for extra security checks, your boarding pass has a lot of S's. It happened to me, and I saw it on the show as well. I never knew anything about that before. I don't know what criteria they use to select people, but if you're doing nothing wrong, if you know you're good, I don't think it should be an issue. I don't think you should panic or worry or anything. Yeah. So yeah, it happened to me when I was traveling back, and they did the extra checks, and I was very cooperative because I got nothing to hide, and they were just doing their job. So what was I supposed to do? Start acting a fool? Of course not. Yeah, and it went by smoothly, and it was not only myself, there were other people as well. Yeah, I don't know if it's a computerized system. I don't know if like they observe something. I have no idea All I know is that if you are selected for the extra security check, they will check you whether you like it or not. So why create an issue out of nothing? Just follow the rules, listen to the people, listen to instructions. I know, especially when you're an adult, you really don't want people, telling you what to do. But this is life. We are all told what to do at some point. Okay? Everyone has a boss. Everybody has a boss. And that is the truth. Yes. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I need to take a breather. I hope you guys learned something from this. I was so excited to come on here and share this. Yeah. And yeah, so if you're traveling out there, travel safely. And I think the same also applies to just any form of public transportation, whether you're using tram or a train. Excuse me, yeah, you want to be polite to people, be kind to people. I'm not saying that go out of your way to be like super super nice. Sometimes people really don't have that time, but just be polite, just be respectful, just be kind. It will amaze you the kind of energy you'll get back. You put out good energy is bound to come back. Of course, not everyone will give you the good energy back, but wherever you can get, you take. Yeah, so that is it for now. Unless you guys have a question for me, a question or two, or any other comments. No, no, going once, going twice. All right, so safe travels. Anyone who's traveling or planning to travel, safe travels. Be safe out there, be vigilant, be on the lookout as well. If you see something, say something. Yeah, so that just basically means if you see something suspicious, something that is off or anything, like, just alert the authorities or the people who need to know. Yeah, because that is very important, not only to yourself but to others as well, and it makes it very easy for people to do their jobs. And yeah, we all want to live in a safe environment. I'll try watch more of your videos, please, Danny. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please, yeah, that is what I would really, really like. So I would really appreciate it if you support me in that way. Watch it, share it. You can share it on different platforms. Like the like button is very important. Comment. We can, chat there. Give me feedback. What you guys would like to see more, what I can do better, or anything like that. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for subscribing and liking this video and sharing it. And thank you in advance for watching my videos on my homepage. All right. And like I always say, please, please, please be a kind human. It does not cost a thing. Yes. And until next time, bye. Bye, guys.